The Olympics are starting today. There already have been a few games that have been completed. We have Germany winning Japan by 20, Australia winning Spain by 12, and Brazil right now versus France. I believe they're winning right now, but we have some really good teams already that are competing. So I'm just gonna be talking about all teams and how they can stack up versus the US. And US might have some problems, even though they created one of the best teams in NBA basketball history. They might have problems. The world has caught up somewhat, so the US definitely has to worry about this. And I'll just be saying about most of the teams and how they have some great players and the few teams that have a chance to actually beat the US. So first, I'll be talking about the three teams that are in the US group, which are going to be playing the US. We have Serbia, which is going to play tomorrow, I believe, versus the US. Puerto Rico and South Sudan right off the bat. Serbia is probably the best team in the group besides US, but they actually were the team that got blown out by the US, the only blowout basically of the exhibition games where the first half it looked pretty good, but the second half the US went off, which is a big sign because if the US goes off like that, they could win any game. It doesn't matter at all. But Serbia has some pretty good NBA players, Jokic, along with Bogdan Bogdanovic. I don't know if Nikola Jovic is on the team, but he might be. They also have like some players that used to play for the NBA and stuff. So Pokusevski is one of them. So they have some pretty good talent, and if Jokic does really well, Jokic is still probably the best player in the league right now and in the world in general. So Jokic definitely, if he goes on a monster game, they also have like players like Micic on the Hornets and stuff. They could have a solid win, but the U.S. just really needs to guard Jokic and a few other players because you see like borderline NBA players and like role players in the NBA go off and become superstars when they play Olympic tournaments. So, yeah. Another team, Puerto Rico, they don't have that much NBA talent, but they do have a solid team. Jose Alvarado is one of them on a team. They also have some other good players. So, they, I believe, played, I forgot what team they won. So they're pretty decent, but I did not see them play the USA. They have not played the USA yet, so I don't know what to expect from them. But I feel like the US should be able to beat them. And then finally, South Sudan, who we saw, has some pretty solid talent. They have definitely the confidence and hunger to win. So US definitely has to match their like aggressiveness and all of that stuff to win. But I feel like the US can definitely win. They got the talent. And yeah, South Sudan might be a threat though. And then we have the other groups. There is the group of death. Group A, I believe, Argentina, Spain, Greece, and Canada. Canada, I believe, is the biggest opponent to the US. They have 10 NBA players. They have superstars, Shai Alexander, Jamal Murray, solid starters, really good players, RJ Barrett, Lou Dort, Andrew Nemhard, and Dylan Brooks, along with some solid NBA veterans like Kelly Olynyk, Dwight Powell, and more. So Canada is a team to definitely watch out for. They, Shea and Jamal could definitely lead them to a victory if they are hot. Considering the U.S. guards, besides Holiday and White, are not that good of defenders, and definitely the Canada team has really good talent to beat them. And then, they did lose to them. The U.S. did beat them pretty solid win versus Canada in their first game, exhibition game. But I mean, Canada looks really good on paper at least. And then I have to see them in the Olympics though first. And then there's also Greece, who looks pretty good. Giannis is one of the top 5 best players in the world. They also have some solid players as well. With Giannis, some former NBA players, some really good overseas players. So they have a big shot. Really good defense. They have a really good defense. Then there's Spain, who is, I believe, the 2019 FIBA World Champions. They have a really solid group. 2022 Eurobasket champions, I believe, too. Really solid group. Have some NBA veterans. Willie and Juan Hernangomez, Santiago Dama, more of that. But they did lose to Australia, which I feel like Australia is a really big threat. Actually, they beat France, I believe, in the exhibition games or some other team, but they have a lot of NBA players, and Patty Mills on Olympics is basically a superstar. FIBA Patty Mills. And they also have Josh Giddey, who looks actually really good in the first game, dropped 17, 8, and 8 to beat the Spain, which is a really good veteran team, a lot of chemistry. So that's a really good team Australia has. And their overseas talent is also really good. And then finally in that group, Group B, I mean, there's a few teams that I believe we should watch out for America. Germany is definitely the best team to watch out for. They're the defending champs, 2023 World Cup, FIBA World Cup champions. They also have a really solid group. They almost beat America in the exhibition games. They have Dennis Schroeder, Franz Mo Wagner, Daniel Tice as their 4 NBA players. Definitely a really good group. They beat Japan by 20. Franz was really good that game, and Franz is a really solid player in the NBA, like almost a star player. So, he's gonna ball out. So Germany's another team to watch out, but if I predict it, I feel like US, they could possibly lose one game in the group stage. I believe they should win every game in the group stage. They don't have the best. They're not in the best group even. Like if they were in the group of death, group A, that would be a different story. But they're not in the best group. And once it hits the semifinals, it's a 1-game elimination. Can't predict what happens really, but I feel like US probably will win another gold medal. But once 2028 comes around, without LeBron, KD, Steph, and with a ton of other international players, that'll be insane. Last team I need to talk about before I leave is France. I feel like the second best competitor to the US besides Canada. They have Victor Wembanyama and Rudy Gobert. And in 2028, they have Alex Sarr, top 5 pick in the 2025 draft projected. And also have Reza Shea from number 1 pick from this draft. So they have a ton of talent. Rudy Gobert is on the team. Batum, Fournier, they have a lot of solid NBA players. And France, like no 3-second, their paint defense is insane. Also, shout out Brazil. They have been looking pretty competitive versus France this game now. Hasn't finished yet, but yeah, US should be able to win this 2024 gold medal. But it's going to be a challenge, definitely. Not like before, where we already know that US will win automatically. And that's basically it. Thank you guys for watching. We're out.